Hello there, welcome into this latest edition of the SAU Women's Basketball Coaches Show. I'm Daniel Gallegos, joined alongside head women's basketball coach Rusty Rainbolt. And Coach, it's been quite a while since the last time we were able to have a coaches show with you, a holiday break and everything else. Everybody now getting back on the campus, so we're getting back into the swing of things here in the second semester, and that also means kind of the stretch run of basketball here as we're in the heart of conference play. Since the last time we spoke, your team's hit a little bit of a lull as of late, but a couple losses back to back. But really, they've been close games, and so it's just kind of one or two things here and there. But talk a little bit about that, since pretty much through Christmas break and where your program is right now.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's kind of been one of those stretches where we've hit just some rough times, and I think we've lost 7 games by 6 points or less. And so I feel like that for the most part we've competed and given ourselves a chance in most of the games. We haven't played up to our abilities or as good as we can by any means, but we've been in a lot of games. We've just found a way to lose most of them as of late. But the girls are they're still fighting, and they still believe that they can do it, and I think that's one of the things that's always good, that the kids, these days it feels like kids that they can get through just about anything, and just turn the page and get past it pretty quickly. And so that's good and a bad at times, but we're just trying to get focused and get ready for tomorrow with Northwestern.
Early on this season, and particularly last year, obviously the up-tempo style of play, both on offense and defense, was something that you highlighted. Over the last couple of weeks, maybe in particular last week, you kind of got away from that a little bit, kind of settled into about 9 or 10 players within a rotation that you're pretty much sticking with, and not as many subs getting players in. What has that done for your team this past couple of weeks?
Well, it's not something that I want to do or wanted to do or had a plan for. I think it's something where, to be honest with you, certain players hadn't made plays and haven't played well. And it's hard to put people out there and keep putting them out there when they're not making plays. And we've had, and as everybody always does, but we've just had so many injuries to certain players that it changes the way you play. We started out doing that last season, and then we hit a low where we had a bunch of injuries. And I think at one point last year we had 8 healthy bodies, and it's hard to run 5 in and 5 out when you only have 8. And this year's been real similar. We have more bodies, but a lot of them are inexperienced or younger girls that aren't playing. And so but it comes down to really just a combination of the injuries to certain key people, and then other players not performing and producing the way that they're needed to. But every game kind of takes a life of its own when you're in the situation we are, trying to find our identity. And so we just look at film and preparation in terms of how we're going to play. And some games we want to go 5 in 5 out now, like we did at Henderson when we played here, and then the next 2 on the road, we cut the rotation down just because of practice and injuries and focus and all that. So
we've grown accustomed to the name Chanel Miller being one of the top scorers on the team, and this year she's been complemented by Rosa Bryant, who through the first half of the season has been a scoring threat for the team. She's leading your team in scoring, and those are your 2 top scorers right now. Talk about that kind of 1-2 punch, because they appear to be pretty similar players, both in size and their skill set.
Yeah, they're both pretty good players. They both have the ability to score the ball. Both of them are undersized post players, if you want to call them that. I mean, they play the 4 and the 5 for us, but they're both only about 5'9", and so it's been good from a scoring standpoint because they do create matchup problems. A lot of teams we play against have legit 6 foot, 6'1", 6'2" big post players, and Rose and Chanel being smaller, they create problems on the offensive end, and that's why they get the points they do. They're very good players, but they're also playing. We put them in an offensive position that gives them an advantage, but conversely, it hurts us defensively. I mean, those 2 have been on the court a lot of games, pretty much every game that they've been healthy to play at the end of the games, and that's been our biggest weakness as well, is rebounding the ball in the last few moments of games. Is kind of what happened at SAU and a few others where we just couldn't grab a rebound, and that's because our post players are 5'9", and so it gives you a benefit on the offensive end, but it definitely causes problems on the defensive end. But they're both competitors, and they both have embraced the scoring role. We just need to get a little bit more out of them on the defensive end.
Looking where we're at now, coming into this weekend's game, Northwestern Oklahoma coming into town, and then after that you go back on the road next week, go to Monticello, and then start back conference play the second half of it where you're playing everybody again that second time. Talk a little bit about first the Northwestern matchup, and then ending with Monticello, and then kind of not looking too far ahead, but eyeing playing everybody else again.
Yeah, well, we definitely we're at the point where we don't look past today, and that's just the truth of it. I think when you're in certain situations, you can kind of project and look and get excited about the future. And for us, we're playing playoff basketball right now because our kids realize that it's going to be a fight for everybody. Really, it's not in the top three to get in the tournament. I mean, there's not a lot of difference between 4 through 11 right now in terms of the standings and all that, and there won't be all year until it finalizes. So we're just looking day to day. Northwestern is it's fun to watch them play. Coach Bozeman, who was here, I mean, his kids play so hard. That's one of the things that when we put the film on, it's we really challenge our kids to play that hard at times. And so for them to have that group that they do, and kind of in the same process as where we are in terms of building the program, just trying to create an identity. His kids have done that, and they compete hard, and it's going to be a tough game because they're just a scrappy bunch, and undersized kind of like we are, but tough and will fight you, and just seem to have it rolling right now in terms of just they're playing better, and so that's it's fun to watch, and hopefully it'll be a good game.
We appreciate it very much for your time again. Rusty Rainbolt and his Lady Mule Riders will host Northwestern Oklahoma State, the W.T. Watson Center. That's this Saturday, 1 p.m. tip-off time. Originally was scheduled for 2, but now it is a 1 o'clock tip-off time, so be sure to get there that extra hour earlier. Coach, we appreciate it. Best of luck.
Thank you.